The total length means what? Motta Turam. I will use sometimes camel, right? The Motta Turam. ஒரு பொருள் பயணித்த மொத்த தூரம். For example, you are starting your journey from your home and you are going to Hijra Junction or somewhere else. You are going to Colombo, then you are going to Dubai, then you are going to India, then you are going to somewhere else, South Africa, then you are going to NASA, then you are going to space, and then you are coming back to USA, then come to India and coming back to Colombo, then coming to your home. You have to listen. I'm going to show that how to do this displacement concept. Listen here. The total length of an object travel, and that is called displacement. For example, here you are placed starting with journey from Colombo and you are going to India, then you are going to Dubai, then you are going to USA, then you are going to NASA. And after that you're returning to NASA, then you are coming to New York. And you're coming back to India. And you're coming back to Colombo. And your starting point is from home. You're from home, you started that. What is the meaning of the distance is actually the total length of an object traveled. For example, if it's a 550 kilometer, for example, Colombo to India, there is so much of a kilometer. And here this is, if I say, for example, 50 kilometer, or for example, if I say the length of this Colombo to India, if I say, for example, L1, if I take this is L2, and this is length if it's an L3, and this length is L4, and if it's an L5, and if it's an L6, and this is if it's an L7, you should find, to find the distance, you should add all the place, all the distance, all the length, the total length. L1 plus, L2 plus, L3 plus, L4 plus, L5 plus, L6 plus, L7. The total length of an object travel, and that is called distance. We will be talking about, you may have studied in this chapter, there are two types of quantities, vector quantity and scalar quantity. I'm not going to be talking about these all because this is a revision class. So the vector quantity means that quantity contains only the value and direction. At the same time, the scalar quantity means the quantity which has only the value or magnitude, I can say. So simply what you have to understand here, simply you must remember this one, distance, this is the concept. If I draw something like this, listen now. The person is starting his journey from A, right? Very important point, I'm going to talk here for this one, A. And he reached to B, from A, and he reached to B. And from B2, he reached to C now. And this is, for example, 4 meter. And if I say, for example, this is a 3 meter, now it has traveled from 4, distance can be found 3, 4 plus 3, 7 meter. But the displacement, if you look at this one, what is the definition for displacement? The displacement is, the definition is a different thing. The total distance of an object travel is called distance. The total length of an object travel, and that is called distance. ஒரு பொருள் பயணித்த மொத்த நீளம் தூரம் செல்லப்படும். At the same time, the total the length between starting point and ending point is a distance. So answer is saying that நான் பேசுற சவுண்ட் எனக்கு விளங்குது இல்லடா. So he is a problem. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all? Okay, you can hear, right? So he's,
Yeah, sir.
yeah, okay. That person is cannot handle this Zoom. He's trying. Okay. Now here, if it's a 3, 4, and if it's a 3, right? Now it will be, you must know. Can someone say this one? It will be how much? 5 meter. So, what is the difference between distance and displacement? If you look at this note I have prepared for you people. Sorry. Look at this one, the second definition, displacement. The distance between starting point and ending point of an object, and that is called displacement. This is the difference between distance and displacement. Look at this now. If you look at this picture, which I have added here for you people to understand the basic idea of distance and displacement. Here, look at this one. For the easiness, I have already drawn here. Look at this one. An object starting from this point, and ending from this point. But this guy is traveling through this path, right? A guy is traveling from this path, and here now this is a 50 meter, and this is starting point, and this is ending point. Look at this one. I have written a different thing. It's wrong. I have written. It's wrong. I have written. Can you change this one? Can you change? Starting the object travel. The object travel total length is the distance, right? I have to change this one. The distance should be here. What should be? Tell. This guy is moving through this one. What should be? It should be how much? 50 meter. Because this guy is moving through this path. And this guy or this object starting point this one. The ending point this one. Now the starting point, ending point length is, distance is 40 meter. The displacement says what? The length between starting point and ending point, and that is called displacement. And this is not 50 meter. It should be how much?
40 meter.
So purposely I have given that. I have written that because you will confuse. You should confuse. If you confuse, you will get very good idea. So the basic idea, simple and I am starting from my journey from my hometown, Samakre, then I go to Colombo, then I go to India, then I go to NASA and coming back to Dubai, then coming back to New York, then coming back. Zero. Because my starting point and the ending point are equal, the same point, so the displacement would be 0. Look at this one, second example. A guy is starting here, this is starting point, this is ending point. A guy is starting from this point to this point, and it is moving 4 meter, then it's moved left 3 meter, then Here would be the displacement, how much? 7 meter. Yes, exactly correct. The total distance of an object travel, and that is 7 meter. At the same time, displacement would be, I have to find this starting point, ending point length. Displacement here, the force squared, this is the force squared because if it's a perpendicular to that one, I can find using a Pythagoras theorem 4 squared plus 3 squared altogether 25 squared, 5 squared, root of 5 squared, and it will be 5 meter. And when when you give this displacement, if they ask, if they give direction, and if they ask, you should give this direction. This is the direction. How to find this direction here? Look at this one, how I am finding here. This is what? North. This is what? East. And this is what? South. Then this would be what now? Tell. This would be
Southeast.
what? Southeast. This is north, this is east, and this is south, and this is west. And this would be now what? Southeast. So I can write here southeast. Do you understand this what I'm talking here? Because the revision class, if that is a theory class, Sharia kada narrate time because it's a revision class and you should understand the basic idea. The total distance of an object, the total length of an object travel, and that is called distance, and the total the starting point, ending point is called what? The length between or the distance between starting point and ending point, and that is called displacement. Very important thing that I am going to talk now here. Loads of people are confusing this now. Loads of people are confusing this. Look at this one. This object is moving from starting point to ending point, and it is moving 100 meter. If it's moved 100 meter, the distance would be 100 meter. At the same time, displacement also what? Displacement also what? 100 meter. Why? This is starting point and this is ending point. And that's starting point and that's one is ending point. Here the total length of an object travel is 100 meter, and this is the length between starting point and ending point is called displacement. So the displacement is 100 meter. Here they have given the direction north, east, south and the west. So here this side is east. So I have given east here. Look, very important thing that I'm going to talk about now. When any object travel in a straight motion and one direction, again saying, when any object travel in a straight motion and one direction, and that there the distance and the displacement would be same. One direction. Here look at this one, another example here, second one. The second example says what? This is starting point and this is what? Ending point. This object is moving towards this, look at this one, this yellow color. Wait. Look at this yellow color now. An object is moving right side here. The object is moving right side here. And it's moving right side from 100 meter and reach to ending point. Again, it's coming back to again this starting point here. This link will be expired by 10 minutes. Then another link will be given. Okay, right. So the 100 meter it will go this side, and when it go this left side, now the distance is, I have given a wrong answer. What would be the distance? Can someone say? Can someone say?
200 meters, sir.
Yeah,
200
exactly
meters.
200 meter. The distance is what the wrong answer the mind the basic idea of physics or whatever science. If you get the wrong answer until you die, it will not forget. Seriously, I am saying. So if any object moving from right side, if any object moving from right side and it's moving right side the 100 meter and coming back to 100 meter, then this should be how much? The distance 200 meter, right? The distance is 200 meter because it's moving right side and come back to another side, and that is come back again, and now this is the distance is 200 meter. At the same time the displacement is it came back, this is the right side it's moving and the left side is reached, and the displacement would be how much? It is reached the starting point. What would be the displacement? It is reached to starting point. What would be the displacement? Can you say? Can you say? The answer is what? 0. Look what I am talking. If any object moving from start one point to another point, if any object, if it's moving from right side to left side and it move, if it's for example if it's an A and if it's a B and it's move and come back again, right? And if it's 100 meter, போனது 100 meter, வந்தது 100 meter. So total distance would be how much? How much? 200 meter, and it is reached to starting point. The starting point to ending point ஒரே இடம். So then it would be displacement how much? 0. This is how you should remember. But if any object starting point here and if it's an ending point here, for example, if this is a 500 meter, now displacement how much till?
500 meters, sir.
500 meter. What about distance? Distance.
500,
That's also how much? 500 meter. In the basic idea of mind la vechukolunga makkal, சில questionகள்ல bookல if you look at this one, displacement VT graphல எல்லாரும் நீ படிச்சிருக்கால சொல்றேன், velocity time graph and the area gives what actually? The velocity time graph area will give what? Can you tell? Displacement. But question paper அதாவது bookல சில நேரம் அங்க என்ன கேட்டிருக்காங்க சில இடங்கள்ல distance ன்னு கேட்டிருப்பாங்க. இதுதான் குழப்பம். The basic குழப்பம், the basic confusion in your book is what? Actually, they are asking velocity time graph. In velocity time graph, the area will give displacement, but book some points, some places they have asked distance. Don't confuse what type of motion here. Only straight and one direction motion. Again, I'm saying straight and one direction motion. Again, I'm saying straight and one direction motion. So please understand the basic idea. The basic idea of this concept is if it's in the book in the displacement demand, and distance demand, don't confuse in velocity time graph. Here, this kind of motion straight one direction. If it's another direction, they will not ask in velocity time graph because that's not in syllabus. Only there we'll be talking about in gravitational acceleration. So up to now what we have discussed, what is distance and what is displacement. That's only. So this link will expire by 3 minutes. I will send another link, right? Okay, later. Wait until that. The next basic idea, the basic or the theory is what we are going to talk about is speed. Simply the speed term, the definition says what? The total distance. Look at this one, distance. The total distance. Someone, it's heavy raining, something like that, right? Takrima, are you there? She left, I think. Okay, the total distance of an object is traveled in a unit time. Unit time, look at this one. The total distance of an object traveled in a unit time is called speed. What is unit time? Unit time is always what? Always unit time is what? 1 second. Unit time means 1 second. For example, நீங்க என்ன செய்றீங்கன்னு சொன்னா இங்க இருந்து உங்களோட வீட்ல இருந்து உங்களோட அங்கிள் வீட்டு போறீங்க. தமிழ்ல நான் சொல்றேன். A boy is moving from one place from your place to uncle's place. போறீங்க 100 meter distance. You took 100 seconds. நீங்க 100 மீட்டர் போறீங்க 100 மீட்டர் போறதுக்கு 100 செகண்ட் எடுத்தீங்க. ஒரு செகண்ட்ல எத்தனை மீட்டர் போயிருக்கீங்க? Can someone say? Yeah, in 1 second, 1 meter you will go. That is speed. What is actually? 100 meter நீங்க 50 செகண்ட்ல போயிருந்தா 1 செகண்ட்ல எத்தனை மீட்டர் போயிருக்கீங்க? For example,
2 meter.
2 meter. 100 meter 25 செகண்ட்ல போயிருந்தா in a 1 second 4 meter. 100 meter 10 second போயிருந்தா in a second you will walk what?
10 meter.
10 meter, which means the basic idea is speed is the total distance of an object traveled in a unit time. What is unit time actually? How much of meter, how much of distance it is traveled in a unit 1 second. That is speed. So now stop பண்றேன், next link க்கு வாங்க. Okay. Usually if you look at this one, instead of distance I used dt here, dt. But don't use this symbol. There's no need this symbol. You write something very easy. Speed is equal distance over time. That's enough. You don't need to put this symbol. Symbol is a summa or pahat. That's all. So, speed is equal distance over time. And the unit of the speed is ms minus 1. The unit of speed is ms minus 1. And the speed is scalar quantity. What is scalar quantity means? For example, I am talking about one scalar quantity. Scalar quantity is only consists or contains what it has a value or magnitude. Okay, scalar quantity or solvent time. What's the time now? 5:33. ശരി, 5:02 എടുക്കും. 5:30 5:02. Can I say 5:30 east, west, or the east side? Can I say 5:30 north side? Can I
No,
say
sir.
5:30 south side? Or can I say 5:30 Ishana Mule? You can't say because time is a scalar quantity. And also distance also scalar quantity. Look at this one, above scalar quantity and below also scalar quantity, scalar piricha, scalar ram varum. So speed also scalar quantity. Look at this one now. I have speed is equal distance over time and 9 again. To find the distance, you can use this one, distance equal speed into time. To find the distance, you can use speed into time. For example, let's do something. For example, I'm going to give one question here. Wait. An object travel, for example, an object travel, excuse me, whose sound is coming? Object travel 500 meter distance. The time taken for this one 10 seconds and it is read 500 seconds. Please find the speed. Speed can be find what? Distance over time. How much distance? 500. How much time? 100 seconds. Look, here this is a meter. This is what? Second. സെക്കൻഡ്ക്ക് പവർ എത്തിനിരിക്കും ഒന്നിരിക്കും ഇവിടത്തെ അത് മേലെ പോണ എന്നെ മാറും എം അപ്പടിയായിരിക്കും എസ് മേലെ പോണ if it's go above s minus 1 500 500 I cut 550 over 1 what's the answer 50 ms minus 1. What do you understand about these 50 ms minus 1? Can someone say? Yarajan solunga papam.
1 second 50 meter is traveled.
Yeah, this object 550 ms minus 1 means what? This object travel speed is what actually the distance over time. I hope you got this one. Another one, for example, an object is moving and I am giving this speed now 400 ms minus 1 and the time for that is 25 seconds. Sorry. 2 seconds. Find the distance. Can someone find? நான் சின்னதுல தான் போவேனா graph எல்லாம் பின்னுக்கு தான் வரும் இது basic idea so it will take 7 or 8 class but in our class what's the answer
800 meter.
very simple 800 meter because you know distance is equal no need to remember this one speed is equal distance over time. So I have asked distance. So to find the distance is equal st. Speed into time. Speed how much? 400. And time is how much? 2. 400 into 2 how much? 800. Sir, இதெல்லாம் தேவையில்லை sir. எங்களுக்கு இதெல்லாம் சின்ன பப்பா விஷயம் I will move faster. Are you okay with that? No problem? I am moving from basic idea. Okay. These are the things, our basic idea for the distance. Remember, distance and the speed and the times, everything is scalar quantity. Okay? Another question I'm going to ask now. Please note this question. An object is moving like this. This is 4 meter and this is 5 meter and this is 10 meter for example. It's moving from A, this point is B and C. It's moving from A to B and B to C. The time taken to travel A to B and B to C is 3 seconds. Sorry, this is 10 meter. 3 seconds. It's not 2 seconds. I'm asking to find this speed. What is the answer? The time taken to travel A to B, B to C is 2 seconds. What is the answer? The distance.
4.5 ms minus 1.
Yeah, the 4.5 ms minus 1. One person has said. Say it, what is the answer? Object is moving from A to B, then B to C. So the distance for this motion is 4 plus 5, 9 meter. And the time taken for this one, 2 seconds. And 9 over 2, what's the answer? 4.5 ms minus 1. Very easiest question. இப்படிதான் O level வரும் MCQ ல. Look now. So if you come to this one now, I have put this distance time graph. நான் எப்படி notes prepare பண்ணிக்கண்டா. Look at this notes. Notes ண்டா ஒரு short notes மாதிரி. If we study distance and we will be talking about the speed. And if we study speed, we will be studying this distance time graph. Look at this one. It's not in your book, but sometimes they will give in your examination. Distance time graph கேக்குற நாம நீங்க படிச்சிருப்பீங்க displacement time graph தான். But displacement distance time graph எல்லாமே கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒன்றுதான் if it's in the same direction. ஒரே direction இருந்தா. Look at this one first graph. The first graph says actually Listen, the distance in velocity, the v axis, the y axis, this is present in distance, and I have put this here, time, and this is if it's a distance time graph, and for example, the graph which is drawn distance in y-axis and the time in x-axis is called distance time graph. Here, if you want to find the speed, if you want to find the speed using distance time graph, you must divide y-axis over x-axis. In the y-axis, x-axis speed bar. For example, look at this one here, this one. This point is very important point. இங்கிருந்து இந்த டைம் ஆக்சிஸ்ல இருந்து மேல போனா this is the meaning of this one, மேல போனா distance கூடும், கீழே வந்தா distance குறையாது. That is very important. அங்கதான் point இருக்கு. For example, listen. I will be talking about this displacement time graph. Then only you will understand this one, right? So later I will talk later. And look at this one, distance versus time graph, some distance time graph. Look this one, this is the rest. This should be rest.
Audio கொஞ்சம் clear இல்ல மைகி.
Audio clear இல்ல மைகி. இப்ப clear ஆயிக்கா? பக்கத்துல வச்சு கதைங்க மைக், இதை விட கதைங்க. ஒரு கவரேஜ் ப்ராப்ளம் சில நேரம் அது நடக்கும். Now this is also rest. ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கொள்ளணும், வேற வழியே இல்லை. You should understand. Here also, look at this one. This distance could be 0, 1, 2, 3, something like this. So here it's a 0. If it's a rest, here 0. So rest means the distance here also what? 0. But here I look at this one. If it's a 30 meter, for example, if it's a 30 meter, the graph it has been moved for 30 meter in the graph in the point. Now it is also rest because distance look, distance time axis graph மேல போகணும் or else கீழே வரணும் if it's want to increase the distance. Look at this now, the distance time graph which is given. This is the graph which shows the constant speed. And in the picture, look at this picture. Here I have given the 40 meter. Or object, ഇവിടെ തരുന്നത് 40 meter പോകുമണ്ടാ, and if it's moving in a constant speed, and this point is a distance in the slope செல்லும் constant speed என்று சொல்லும். ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கொள்ளணும், வேற வழி இல்லை. Constant speed இப்படிதான் வரும், rest இப்படிதான் வரும், constant velocity we will be talking about later அப்படிதான் வரும், constant acceleration இப்படிதான் வரும் என்கிறத you should remember. அதுக்கு ஐடியாவே இல்லை. But there is an idea, but it's a typical idea. கொஞ்சம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கொள்ளும். Look at this one, next one. The distance here and the time is given here. In the object will start பண்ணி 40 meter போய் then coming back 40 meter திருப்பி வருது. அதான் the graph சொல்லுது. It's starting from rest and it's moving in a constant velocity. It should be constant speed. constant speed. ഇവിടുത്തെ വന്ന് 40 meter പോയിട്ട് then it came back distance time graph or displacement time graph lena or விஷயம் செல்வன் I will talk later next classes நான் கதப்பன் displacement time graph or distance time graph ல time axis க்கு மேல போகும்டா graph that is one direction time axis நோக்கி வரும்டா if it's coming towards the time axis another direction. For example, listen. Confuse ஆகுவ now. For example, listen. Look at this one. This is the one object. இது 40 meter, 40 meter போகுதுங்க. And if it's moving in a constant speed, then this would be if it's a distance and if it's a time, graph would be constant speed. But if an object starting from here and if it will move this point and come back again, this is one direction and this is another direction. If a graph எப்படி வரும்டா and both are constant speed ல போகும் and this is also constant speed. Now if this will graph இங்கல போறதுக்கு நான் இப்படி வரும் then இங்கல போறதுக்கு நான் that's also constant speed but என்ன directionல வரும் this is what நகர்றது என்ன direction if I use this pink color நகர்றது என்ன direction this is one direction this is another direction இது ஒரு திசை இது ஒரு திசை எதுல distance time graph or displacement time graph ல நான் கதப்பன் I have compared ரெண்டையும் compare பண்ணி I have a notes that I will show that before you come to this class you should refer your notes or refer your book then come. It's not about theory. நான் உண்மையாவே theory நல்லா வழங்கப்படுறா it will take time. I am talking small things because this is all about this revision class which means we will be doing different types of questions. So அதுவே revision class க்கே time காணா போல இருக்கு theory க்கே காணா போல இருக்கு. Right. Now look at this one, the velocity. The velocity, the basic idea is the total displacement of an object in a unit time. Which means 1 second. Here, if it's a speed, look, if it's a speed, pardon. If it's a speed, the total is distance. But if it's a velocity, and this would be displacement in a 1 second. That is velocity. So velocity speed different idan makar. Speed which is connected to distance, velocity which is connected to displacement. So the definition for velocity is change of displacement over time. The velocity is equal final displacement minus initial velocity, the displacement over time. And the initial final velocity நான் dp2 எடுத்துக்கிறேன் displacement 2 and initial displacement I have taken displacement 1 over time. இங்க பாருங்க the vector quantity is what? This is what quantity? Velocity is what quantity? Vector quantity. And if you look at this one, the displacement time graph, The time graph says a different idea, very important part. Look, we know the velocity is equal displacement over time or change of displacement over time. Then I have multiplied this V into T into displacement, and if I draw this y-axis here, y-axis V அதாவது Vm Tங்கிறது x axisல இருந்தா if it's placed in x axis then V would be the gradient. M is what? Can you say M is what here? The gradient. In Tamil படித்திறன். So M should be, it will be here, M is equal V. So if I use that, M is equal V. Look, this one, M is equal V. So then Y is equal, instead of M, I have put V here. Y is equal Vx. And the velocity x-axis. This is the basic idea about velocity, displacement time graph. And if you look at this now, some different types of velocity displacement time graph. And this is, we studied this one, distance time graph idukum idan வித்தியாசம். இது rest தான் பாருங்க. இங்கேயும் distance time graph idan rest. Look at this. Here this is also rest displacement time graph. Here this is also rest here. Here this would be the constant speed. This would be what? Look now, what is this? Constant. This graph is what? Constant velocity. What's that? Velocity. And also, wait. Look at this one. This is one direction. This is another direction in distance or displacement time graph. Look, this distance time graph, constant velocity. I have put here minus because this is a opposite direction. This is opposite direction. ஏனெண்டா நான் சொல்லிக்கிறேன் டைம் ஆக்சிஸ் இது இப்படி போனா இது கூடுது 40 மீட்டர் போகுது திருப்பி இப்படி வருது 40 மீட்டர் இடையில வருது. It came here from 40 meter to 0 meter. Look at this one. This point you should see. இந்த கிராஃப் எல்லாம் தெரியணும். You must know these graphs. Without knowing these graphs, you can't do these questions. Very important. So that's why I have created very short notes to understand. That mobile exam don't. Now we are going to talk about this acceleration. அதுக்கு முதல் சில விஷயங்களை கதைக்கப்படும். இப்ப பாருங்க. Come to this one now. 10 minutes ஆல class முடிஞ்சிருமா? I have class 6 o'clock. 6:30 இருக்கு. 10 minutes ஆல முடிஞ்சிரும். நாளைக்கு night go something. இனி இந்த class எல்லாம் 8:30 9 o'clock sometime 10 o'clock நடக்குமா? Right? I don't know. Let's see. Look now. An object is moving from A to B. A to B. Then B to C. This is 40 meter. This is 50 meter. And if I say this is 80 meter, for example, the time taken from A to B to C, A to B to C. The time taken for this motion is 5 seconds. Please find the speed and please find the velocity. No question it were line. Please find the speed and velocity. Find and tell me. It's moving from A to B and B to C. What is the speed? What is the velocity? Speed is equal total distance over time. Find it. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Speed
me?
is
Yeah, speed is
Speed is 18 ms minus
speed
1.
is equal to 18 ms minus 1.
18 ms minus 1.
16 ms.
16. Displacement over time. Here displacement how much? 80. Over time how much? 5. 80 over 5 how much? 16 ms minus 1. Look at the difference between speed and this velocity. Right? So this is how you should remember very much carefully, right? So please understand this one. Again, I am saying another things. Listen here. This object is moving from A to B. From A to B, this object is moving. And if it's a 40 meter, the time taken for this one, for example, 4 seconds. Right? Look now. And they are saying this object is moving in a constant speed. It's a constant speed. Ella paathukonuma ida mukyamana point. Rendum undatham varumungradha anga irukra main point. Another object is moving and that's also 40 meters. At the time taken for this one, 4 seconds. And they are saying this object is moving constant velocity. பாருங்க மக்கள் ரெண்டும் ஒரே டைரக்ஷன்ல போறதால ரெண்டும் ஒரே பெருமானம் தான் வரும் பாருங்க வருமா if they ask here speed what's the answer distance 40 over time how much 4 what's the answer 40 over 10 10 ms minus 1 here they are asking ஒரு டைரக்ஷன்ல தான் போகுது same direction now if they ask speed கேட்க மாட்டாங்க so speed கேட்க மாட்டாங்கல்ல they asking velocity now you should use what instead of distance என்ன யூஸ் பண்ணோம் displacement into time. How much displacement? எவ்வளவு சொல்லுங்க 40 over 4. How much?
10 ms minus 1.
10 ms minus 1. Speed and velocity is equal. But again I am saying in a moral அப்படியே திரும்பி வர it's coming back. Right? Coming back. Now the total distance how much? 80. If it's 4, then if it's moving back 4 seconds, if I say 8, then the answer would be how much?
10 ms minus 1, sir.
10 ms minus 1. But ingirikral திருப்பி coming back again. Now displacement is how much? How much?
0.
And the time taken, if I say 4 seconds and it is in 4 seconds, and this is 8 seconds. Now the velocity is what? Total velocity is how much? Mean velocity is how much? 0. So this is how we should do this one. The total distance and the total displacement, basic idea. You must know it's that is going on. We'll do tomorrow or day after tomorrow this class. Have a great time. Assalamu alaikum. So anybody have any doubt, please ask in WhatsApp. So I'm stopping here.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Okay.